I have one burning question for Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn Deck-Building Game. Will the person who introduced me to the Cosmere like this game? We'll answer that question by the end of the video on Legendary Tactics. So you are the person who introduced me to Brandon Sanderson, and you're the person who introduced me to this game. So you bought this game.
I did indeed.
So why don't we talk about a few different elements with the game today? I was thinking maybe we could start with the mechanism. You taught this game to me in a competitive format, but it does have different ways you can play it.
It does. It has a co-op mode, which I have played numerous times because I have never once successfully completed.
Yes. Well, famously, this game is massively, the Lord Ruler is massively overpowered.
Absolutely, which honestly, as a big fan of the book, I would say is extremely accurate. Because if I'm going up against the Lord Ruler, like
it shouldn't be easy.
It should not be easy. It should not be easy.
It's going to take all your combined wits in order to prevail. So the mechanism that we have, so for the solo game, it's essentially you've got your board, I've got my board. We're battling the Lord Ruler, and he has a deck of cards which flip up and sort of trigger adverse effects. Sometimes they can be beneficial.
Yeah, once in a while the mists rise, and
that's right. Occasionally you don't get pummeled. Now I should tell you that I did speak to the people at Brotherwise Games, and thank you to them for providing us with a review copy of this game. And they sent along this updated co-op pack so that we could...
Oh, I haven't seen these.
Yes, we could... Well, we did actually play one of these.
Oh, okay.
Well, up at the cottage, we played the standard level and got absolutely steamrolled.
We did indeed get steamrolled.
So his power is so high, and we just could not take him down. As soon as we took him down, he would heal, because first you need to defeat these
all the missions.
Yep. So we've got Critic Shaw, Keep Venture, Pits of Hassan, and these you choose different ones each time.
Indeed, you have multiple to choose from. You can either do random, but I like to cherry pick a couple.
yeah, of course, yeah. Like you have to do Keep Venture.
Yeah,
you have to do the Pits of Hassan.
You have to do the one with the training track.
Right. Yeah, of course. So we probably need to go back and try the introductory level until we hone our skills at this. There's standard level, extreme, hard. So I mean, you can really tailor this to whatever you like. But tell me, how does the game work? These are all the different metals, so I take it we're all Mistborn in this game?
We are indeed all Mistborn. I'll first start with the characters. We have Vin here.
Awesome.
Who is obviously a Mistborn, the titular character.
She's the warrior.
Indeed,
and so we have two different versions of this. This is the upgraded kind of glossy version.
Gorgeous
and this
card.
is the one that came with the stock game. So yeah, they're really nice. You can see it shimmer there a little bit.
Yep, and we also have Shan here. Being a noble, I find it very accurate to the books that when she burns zinc, she gets money.
Ooh, okay, because she's greedy.
Because she's greedy, yes, indeed. And
is there anybody who really wants to play as Shan, though? She's kind of a jerk in the series, isn't
honestly,
she?
I played it with a few people, and that's the one that they gravitate towards, because they love having their pick of all the cards, which we'll get into later.
So as long as you can transcend the narrative and just put yourself in the game, then Shan's okay.
Shan's okay. If you haven't read the books, people like Shan.
Yeah, that's cool. Who else we got?
We have another Vin.
Yes, this is the Prodigy Vin. So this one's a little bit different too. So the warrior versus the Prodigy. So
you can eliminate a card, I see.
So the Prodigy is brass based and the warrior is pewter based.
Pewter based, because she's a Mistborn and can burn all the metals.
That's right.
I mean, they all are, but they have their specialities.
Why would you want to eliminate a card? How is this game? What's the essential mechanism of the game that would...
This game is a deck builder similar to Moonrakers, if you've ever played it.
Mm-hmm.
Slay the Spire, for all the Slay the Spire fans out there, started as a video game, but has the same mechanism of buying cards and creating a deck over time. Now, you do start with a bunch of funding cards that can be helpful to purchase those cards. However, they start to clog up your deck, and you may want to eliminate them, or maybe you bought a card that you decide isn't helpful, and having the ability to eliminate a card is very instrumental for trimming down your deck if that's the strategy you wanna go for.
Yeah, so the originator, the progenitor of all these games was Dominion, but Dominion didn't have all the extra fancy bling. It was just you get your 5 cards, and you have a deck of 10 cards usually.
Yes.
And then you draw 5, but eventually you want to prune your deck down so that you're a little more efficient.
Exactly.
And that's where you start to build in all these extra cool.
These
are the baddie cards.
Which look at what we have here.
There we are.
We have an ally, which we'll talk about later. But for now, We have, this is an example.
What's neat about this game is that the cards can be used in different ways. So we've got all of our medals here, and you can burn your medal. So at the beginning of the game you start and you can burn one medal at a time. I guess it's like Vin is learning, she's on her journey, and she hasn't figured out all the different powers yet.
Kelsey, you're still training her.
That's right, yeah, absolutely. So you can burn one and trigger a card that way. You can also use one card in order to power another card. So if you have this is a pewter powered card.
This is
or copper, sorry.
Copper,
That's a copper
or
card.
bronze because of the metal pairings.
Right, because we've got, so zinc and brass go together, bronze and copper, tin and pewter, iron and steel, because they're matched opposites.
Yes, indeed they are. So you can take this card and power it using either a copper or a bronze, right here. And that does not count towards one of your metals burned.
Now, what happens, let's say I've got my 5 cards, 2 of them I've used are these. I've already burnt my 1 pewter on a different card. Is there another way?
You still have another card that you want to burn.
And I still have another card I want to do it. How do I do that?
Well, what you can do is you can flare a metal. So you take, let's say it's a steel card. Find me a steel card. No, we'll just do zinc because it's right on the top here.
Perfect.
So we have a zinc card, and I need that $3 because I really want to buy this card. I don't have enough money. I really want to buy that card. I'm going to take this zinc and I'm going to flare it by flipping it upside down and putting it on my card. However, next turn, if I have a zinc card and I want to play it, I can't play it until I've refreshed the metal by discarding a zinc card or brass.
Right. So it's a pretty cool system that parallels the novels because a character can just slowly burn something, but then they really want the strong burst. Then you can say, fine, I'm going to sacrifice this now. It's like emptying your stores, essentially, to get that one shot.
It burns through your metals a lot faster. And then you have to replenish them by refreshing the metal.
So that's kind of cool thematically. Let's come back to our characters here. We've been through Vin, we've been through Shan. We'll save him for the end. We got a couple of, we're down to
the dregs here.
Yeah, we got to talk about Marsh. Now this is the character you like playing as.
Yes, this is my go-to, and I know my friend Tess, we like to fight over this one. This Marsh here, he is, obviously we know an Inquisitor, but he's playing on our side. And these mission tracks here, you might think they're not that important because we haven't talked about them that much, but when you're playing cooperative, that's how you win the game.
Right.
That's how you win the game. By completing all of these tracks is one of the win conditions, and we'll go over the other win conditions, I believe, later.
And as you work your way up, you get bonuses. Like here, you get an extra card. You get 2 cards if you're the first one there.
Exactly.
And you get a card. Anyone who makes it there gets that bonus.
And then when you get to the top, there's also a first player bonus there.
And Marsh is the one who races through the tracks.
He does. He just absolutely rockets up those tracks. And when you're fighting the Lord Ruler, when you're playing competitive, the only way you can actually do damage to the Lord Ruler is if you've completed all of these tracks. So he's very instrumental there, but more so in the competitive version, I would say.
Fantastic. And of course, we've got Kels here.
We do. Your favorite.
The original Mistborn. So if you're burning steel, you do extra damage, which is great. So most of the characters, they have similar powers for the stage 2 and stage 3. So you trigger. So you don't get this passive character bonus until your track, each turn this track is moving up, and there are ways to artificially move that forward. But as you hit 1, you get this power. As you hit 2, you get that power.
You do indeed.
And so on. And it seems that everybody else, they have very similar.
Everybody has the same stage 2 and stage 3 power, which is once per turn when you buy a card, you may resolve its top effect immediately, then eliminate it. So if you have extra money laying around and you really need to do an extra 2 damage and there's one sitting up here, you can buy it and resolve it, but you don't get to keep that card, unfortunately.
Oh, that's a shame. Well, let's put this guy over here. So now you were mentioning that you can take allies and use them as, they start in your hand.
They do.
But then they become part of your tableau?
Yes. And
how does that work?
What I really like about this game is that you only require actions to play certain cards, but some cards you don't need actions to play, so you can always do a lot. Like there isn't a turn where you're sitting there going, I can't do anything. I can play 1 card and then I'm just sitting here. You can always do a lot. So allies are ones that you don't need an action to play. So you simply put it down and they're there until they're killed. And if you see here in the corner...
I was totally misplaying that. I think I was paying to play them.
Paying to play them?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who taught you this game?
I don't know. That's
so yeah,
awesome.
you
No
don't
wonder it was
need
so
an
hard.
action. Yeah, oh, that's why we lost.
Yeah, exactly.
So as you can see in the corner, there's a little shield here. You can choose to take the damage on yourself.
Or you can push them in front of the damage.
Or you can throw your ally in front of you and say, you take it. Now, there is a special one.
But they recycle, right? They come back in your hand.
They come back in your hand.
So they're just down for the count, and then you just
Indeed.
bring them back to life.
Where's the one I'm looking for? There is a special
awesome.
one that protects you even further. So this ally takes it a step further. When you're playing co-op, this is really helpful because usually the attacks are a little bit lower and your opponents can only target this guy. They can't not target you until they've killed this ally.
Gotcha.
With the Lord Ruler, it's a little bit more difficult, which makes sense. The Lord Ruler would take out a Haze Killer pretty quickly.
Yes. But Haze Killers, their job, they're trained
to fight Mistborns.
That's so they go right up front. They're the meat shield.
They are exactly this. That's exactly that, the meat shield for sure.
Absolutely. So the mechanisms sound a lot more complicated than they actually are. You build your deck, you prune it down, you're attempting in the co-op mode. This guy is going to be slowly sliding down each turn as we turn up cards. Asserting his dominance over people. And we don't want to give any spoilers away, but thematically there's some neat turns in this game. So before we get to the theme though, I'd like to talk about comparisons to other games. You've already mentioned Moonrakers, Dominion, Slay the Spire. We also have another John D. Clare game. He did Cubitos, he did Mystic Vale. I believe he did Dead Reckoning as well. He also did The Last Kingdom, which is another of, so I absolutely love Mistborn. I love Last Kingdom. Bernard Cornwell, that series is fantastic. That's probably my favorite book series of all time. This might be my second favorite book series.
It's up there.
That game has absolutely nothing to do with this. It's totally dissimilar. So if you're trying to get the same game, those two aren't the same. This brings us to theme. So you originally introduced me to Mistborn way back in the day. I've devoured everything Brandon Sanderson since then, and I know you're a huge fan. You're reading the Stormlight Archives, the newest book now. One,
and you've been only feeding my addiction by buying me all the books.
Yes, so good. And you're also a board gamer. So how do the two marry? Does it feel like you inhabit the world of Scadrial, Luthadel? Does it feel like you're in the Cosmere? Do you feel like you're Vin or Marsh? Or what are the connections there? Would Brandon Sanderson fans who don't play board games like this game? What are your thoughts on all that?
I would have to say, honestly, the opposite. People who don't play board games, or sorry, people who have not read Brandon Sanderson but do play board games would love it. I think it's just a great game.
Yes.
But it really does pull at your heartstrings if you have read Mistborn. The biggest similarity, I would say, is that when you play co-op against Lord Ruler, you just get absolutely demolished every time. I've never even been close to winning, which is how I think I would feel if I were a part of the crew going up against the Lord Ruler. And I do feel like a Mistborn. I get to burn my medals. I get to figure out nifty ways to try to figure out how many I can build, like burn more medals. And as you've read the books, and you know that it's maybe not important to be the most powerful Mistborn, but it's important to be the smartest Mistborn.
Ooh, and you feel like the way you build your deck is being the smartest here?
It is being the smartest. And there's multiple strategies you can do. You can get as many cards as you want and just throw them all down and have lots of cards, or you can trim them down and have them work together and have synergy.
Right.
Yeah.
There's one fella I play with, Spencer, where I absolutely love when a card comes up that you have, because there's a market that you're buying from, and he gets super excited. A certain card comes up, he's like, oh, that card's so good, I love that card, it's great, and then you get excited because you're, and also when the artwork, I think is really beautiful in this, like it's really nice. The only character that looked absolutely nothing like what I thought it looked like in my head were the Koloss.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, I thought they had like strips of skin like hanging, and there were like almost like little guys inside them trying to get out or something. Like that was just how I pictured that.
I picture the skin a bit saggier, but here they look droopy. Like big monsters.
They look like the Rock Johnson.
They do indeed look like the Rock Johnson.
Yeah,
Mr. Dwayne himself.
No offense, Dwayne, if you're watching. But
there they are. There they are.
Absolutely. So we also get 4 starting cards for particular for our characters. So for Kelsier, I get the tin training, the copper training, steel training, zinc training. These are sort of your base level cards that allow you to do damage, move up the track, and some combinations of the two, maybe get some money.
Oh yeah, and each character one, they're fairly similar, the default loadout here, but they just differ in what metal you're using to burn, depending on what each Mistborn specializes in.
That's right. Yeah, so you've got bronze there. And yes, thanks for joining us today on Legendary Tactics. If you haven't had a chance to like and subscribe, please do so to encourage more of this content. Now get out there, get gaming, and be legendary.
Yeah!
Nice.